Alone, welcome. Well, what a CricketOMania this is going to be. A historic win against South Africa, beating all statistical pundits and commentators and a whole bunch of others, but not Ayaz, who had predicted it.
Absolutely.
In some ways.
Yes, yes.
In some ways, if not entirely. Chandresh Narayanan here and Suresh Menon also going to join us. His favourite Sachin Tendulkar was also in the Melbourne cricket ground. A selfie which may have led to, in some way, contributed to the win.
Everything that Sachin does helps India win.
Helps India win. Okay.
Some way or the other. So there he is.
Okay. Suresh, your first take on why India won.
We won because the cracker box was shown in the hands of the South Africans in that ad just before the match. So immediately I thought, thankfully our Indian boys are not holding the cracker box. The cracker box was held by South Africans who said Mauka, Mauka. But I guess they lost a Mauka over here and they lost. But apart from superstition, I think we really batted well and that's why we won.
Right. Okay. Great. So, Ayaz, let's go. Let's look at the. I mean, we're going to finally count down to the heroes and zeros of this match, for which we've asked. Give us your feedback, and we've got some interesting numbers. Maybe one or two heroes and hero and zero are predictable, but some of them may not be. So let's first go with the Indian batting. Ayaz?
So look, I think overall it's a very comprehensive win. So the batting obviously shone again, and I think there's a strategy which has emerged. Everybody was critical of Dhoni in the first match against Pakistan. Hey, we are so good at chasing, why are you batting first? I think what's becoming clear is that chasing under lights in Australian conditions is not the best thing to do. You're better off putting up a decent total and putting pressure on the team batting second, because it gets a little difficult to bat under lights. Second thing, I think India have shown in the first two matches against Pakistan, against South Africa, these were high pressure games, very high pressure games for different reasons. And they've been able to absorb the pressure well, not just absorb it well, but actually play better. South Africa, on the other hand, struggled against Zimbabwe and collapsed against India. So it seems like the C word is haunting them again. By that I mean the choker's tag.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Chandresh, quickly.
I think Ajinkya Rahane's knock for me stood out. In my view, I think he was the for India with the bat. 79 of pretty quick time, and
he did what Raina had done in the earlier.
Absolutely right. Absolutely, absolutely. And so in a way, the pattern of this match was exactly similar to the Pakistan match in the sense that we started off well, we reached a crescendo, and then again we tapered off in the end overs. But I think overall perfect win. I think something happens to India in ICC tournaments. We 4 ICC tournaments.
Right. So
something obviously is in the air when the ICC tournament starts.
Right. Okay. So we'll come to Shikhar Dhawan obviously in a moment. Who else stood out for you, Ayaz?
Crucial knock played by Kohli because he needed a partnership going. Rohit Sharma unfortunately got run out. He mentioned Ajinkya Rahane, and I think he's been the understated guy in the Indian team. He's not a big star like a Kohli or a Rohit or some of the others, or Dhoni certainly. But every time he goes out to bat, he does something, or he does something in the field. So he's a very committed player. He's got a great sense of timing, and I think because Raina flopped in a sense, he was trying to get quick runs. It was incumbent that somebody else get it, and Ajinkya got them for you, the runs.
Okay, so we also have to point out that there are many statistics created, right? I mean, the number of runs scored, the number of Shikhar Dhawan's 137 being, of course, his highest against South Africa.
I think the coming good of Shikhar Dhawan to me is the story of India's performance so far in the two matches. He made a half century in the first match. I think he was a little out of a bit technically, but more temperamentally, and he's been able to put mind over matter.
Okay.
In the coming, he was on the verge of being dropped.
Yes.
So for him to come back, it shows good self-belief, but even more, I think it reflects very well on Dhoni to have faith in a guy who is trusted for 2 years, given him 50-60 games. He's not going to dump him so easily, and he's repaying that faith.
So, Suresh, we're going sequentially, as you know. So, India batting, what stood out for you, or what stood out while they were batting, if anything?
I think Shikhar Dhawan just staying there at the wicket, and I didn't expect him to stay there for such a long time. It was scary for a moment when Dale Steyn really rushing, steaming in, and after losing Rohit Sharma run out, I thought the confidence had sort of jittered for a little bit. But I thought if he stays a long time, and Kohli being Kohli, if they could just stitch together a partnership, which happened beautifully. Honestly, I'm the last person to be commenting on cricket. I should be cracking jokes on it. But yes, every match I do keep my fingers, legs, ears, everything crossed and sort of, pray that we win. And today was a different day. I was traveling up and down, but I was very, very thrilled to see Shikhar Dhawan staying there. And Ajinkya Rahane, I think he's Mumbai's true batsman, Khadu's batsman that you call. He doesn't give his wicket. But of course, there are some rash moments where he's tried something different. But today he just stood there. I wished stood there. If Rohit Sharma had batted today, I thought it was a wicket which suited his style, and we would have been looking at some 360 odd runs today. But yeah, we won, so I'm very happy, and kudos to Dhoni for that little cameo in the end also.
So Suresh, suppose you had kept your ears open and had to hear the conversation between Shikhar Dhawan and Virat Kohli, how would it be going? What do you think they were telling each other?
यार तू कहीं मत जाना, बोले मैं तो ये करूं छोड़ना नहीं, मैदान छोड़ के भागना नहीं।
अरे यार
कहाँ भाग रहा था मुझे पता नहीं, तू छोड़ना नहीं, मुझे राउंड अप मत करना, मुझे सेंस मारनी।
बहुत बड़ी सैनिटाइज्ड लैंग्वेज आपने यूज की है।
या रोस्ट के बाद मैं थोड़ा टोस्ट बन गया।
So, Suresh, so the other thing is, of course, we have to give some credit to Sachin who was there, right? So, and how would he have perhaps said? I mean, of course, there was this famous selfie which was also tweeted by God. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that. In fact, the shirt that I'm wearing is slightest pink in color, which he was wearing in the morning. So I'm going to be recording my views very soon now, dressed like Sachin very soon. But this shirt was carried only because Sachin was there. And what really thrilled me was as soon as his face was seen on the big screen out there, everybody started shouting, Sachin, Sachin. So I think the victory was a foregone conclusion with the crowd really getting behind Sachin. Shouldn't be so biased, but good Sachin fan and also a Sachin follower, and I think
definitely India went and got it today, and we are very fortunate that we won the match against South Africa. अब पटाखे नहीं फोड़ना, मुझे बॉक्स को भी देखना नहीं है. I don't think we should use the box in any more things against West Indies or anything, because we have broken the jinx, and let us win, Ray.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so that's Suresh selecting the top batsmen, and of course Sachin's godly presence at the Melbourne cricket ground. So let's move on. A few as we go down. Ayaz, I mean, what are the other things that stood out? Indian batting.
Well, look, I think they're getting partnerships, which is important. You had a partnership between Dhawan and Kohli, and then of course Dhawan and Ajinkya Rahane. So you need. What we have lacked perhaps is a very strong finish towards the end. I thought Mahendra Singh Dhoni looked good today to finish with a flourish. It didn't happen. I mean, but I think they're meeting their target. I think they've settled for a score of 300 plus, and they believe, they have faith that they can defend this score because the bowling is shaping up well. The fielding is looking to get two South Africans run out and take all those catches. While on the other hand, actually dropped 3 catches.
Yeah.
Shows what pressure can do.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that the team didn't. I mean, after the first wicket fell for India, there was a sense of calmness, which I think referred to as well. That the Indian team was sort of holding on. I mean, it didn't look like they were.
This is what I think the virtue of playing together and being together for a long while. I mean, we've been
which was perhaps missing earlier.
We've been critical about the team which has not been doing well in Australia in the Test series and the Tri-Series, but come the moment, come the occasion, there's always a better chance of guys who've been around for long in similar situations earlier to cope with it rather than two freshers who may be struggling as in the business of communication. Right. So that which is happening, say, with West Indies and Pakistan. They're suddenly flush with new players and who don't know each other enough.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to come to the batting, the West Indies. The South Africa batting in a moment. Think that you want to pick up down the second half of the batting order?
Second half of the batting order, I think there's still scope for someone like a Dhoni. Like today, he got into his groove. I think if we finish well against, say, the UAE and the other matches are going to be lesser matches for us.
You won't have to bat.
Yeah, that's or he bats higher up the order just to get some match time, and we finish on a very strong note. That will be a big boost for India going into the quarterfinal, because the real World Cup starts from March 18th.
Right.
Till then, we are just warming up in a way for the big one.
Right. Okay. So tell me something. I mean, against South Africa, what does it mean for either or India and South Africa, one having won, the other having lost, in terms of what it's adding up for the quarterfinals?
In terms of quarterfinals for us, for India, it means that they have an opportunity to finish at the top of the table and look at playing the 4th ranked side in which could well be Bangladesh if England don't manage to get their act together. That could be a boon in disguise for us going into the quarterfinals and then into the
The
semi-finals.
more pragmatic way of looking at it is gives you room to maneuver.
Right.
Where actually you want to finish.
Right.
You know, depending on how the other pool is doing.
Right, yeah, and I think Pakistan is the only team which is in serious trouble
Pakistan
there.
seemed to have got a kiss of life today, seeing
Yeah.
South Africa crumble like this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they haven't looked half as bad as South Africa against India.
Correct, yeah.
And they feel that they might actually have a chance to beat South
yeah.
Africa.
You know, actually, someone was saying
So
that
this pool
South
is-
Africa almost went the Pakistan way.
Worse.
It was South African batting. Anything else that you spotted which was interesting? Something you took away from the match, if at all you did?
Actually, I just, I was tweeting continuously that 12 minutes the next wicket will go, in 20 minutes one wicket will go, and all my tweets were actually well lapped up by my followers, and it actually came true. So a lot of people actually asked me whether I'm fixing matches or anything like that, something like that, but I wasn't. It was just my lucky, I wouldn't say lucky, but more, I mean, because, all of us have played cricket and we know sort of when a wicket is going to go. And fortunately, I was spot on, and a lot of people called me the oracle and all that stuff, which I'm very happy. In Malayalam, it means vulture and I hope that I remain a vulture till India takes the cup, which I feel Dhoni is very keen on finishing off in a very high note.
Right, as you can, of course, while Suresh was talking, we have the picture of Sachin taking that selfie, which is also tweeted by God, if in case you didn't get it, just showing alongside. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is the South African
First
batting.
World Cup match
Yeah.
he's seeing as a spectator
Yeah,
Since 87.
since 1987.
right.
You know, he was a ball boy then, now he is a tall boy.
Yeah.
In the world of cricket.
Ayaz also at his best. Ayaz has been, by the way, on doing the commentary since from 3 a.m.
Your graveyard shift, don't remind me.
Yeah, so Ayaz is also can be found on Star doing commentary, but from hours which I don't think any of us can ever even dream of.
Unearthly hours is all I can
Unearthly
say.
hours. Okay, let's go on to the South African batting. So let's pick up.
So I think the South African batting went into disarray very quickly. I mean, you know, the opening partnership didn't last. I think getting rid of Hashim Amla was a big wicket for India.
Yeah.
Because it brought Dumini and Miller into the action much earlier than they would have expected.
Right. Yeah.
These are big wickets.
And there's a big stat which was floating around, right? If Hamla scores less than 50, then South Africa is in trouble.
Yeah,
Or
and-
wherever he scored
and
more
they
than
were-
50, then they won.
But to me, the
88.
turning points with the South African, there were two of them, were getting De Villiers and Miller run out. Both these are explosive batsmen. We know what they're capable of, and they just get better and better if they stay longer and longer at in the middle. So, and that's really credit to the Indian fielding. I thought that the Indians were superb in the field today.
Right, and we had two stunning runouts.
And both very
so
quick
many
between wickets.
And
De
leg
Villiers,
before
I don't know
wickets.
how often he's got run out.
Very little time, and he has got run out in Champions Trophy in 2013 against India, and that was Jadeja who did it. This time it was Mohit Sharma. So
Both times India won.
both times India won. So you imagine the on a South Africa
Right,
innings.
so great fielding. Suresh, we're talking about South African batting now. Anything that stood out for you?
Yes, I think Kamla's wicket, I didn't expect him to go out so easily. I mean, I didn't think he would hook that ball. I mean, it was a brilliant trap set by our Indian team. And I actually started laughing when that happened, because till that time he was playing it well and he was playing each and every ball. Suddenly that rush of blood and boom, there he went. Once he went, I thought we'll win, but still AB, he can turn around a match anytime. And his run out was really, really wonderful to watch, because I just tweeted that India needs a wicket 12 minutes from now. De Villiers, I tweeted saying that AB de Villiers, like Kamla, in the Kamla voice, I said, AB de Villiers, I'm waiting for your AH Villiers charge get 10 minutes mein aaja. And exactly that was out. So,
But you know, Govind, interestingly, I mean, I'm just taking up for what Suresh mentioned about Hashim Amla, the trap set for him. You know, sport is so often a goes.
Yeah.
The South Africans realized that they were chasing 300. They were better, one up on the Indians as far as batting was concerned. And when you go into that frame of mind, you know, you can end up with egg on your face. This is exactly what happened with South Africa today.
Right. So where did I mean, you know, the other thing I know, I mean, everyone noticed, Ayaz, is that the stadium was predominantly Indian supporters.
Yeah,
You
Melbourne
think-
is now part of India.
Melbourne is a part
like
of India.
Adelaide.
Or like Perth will be next week.
Like Perth will be next week. So you think that has an impact?
Oh, huge impact. I mean, test matches, the biggest complaint I've heard from players is that when they play to empty stands, the incentive is lost. You know, somewhere the edge is not there. Because as a performing artist, and Suresh will bear me out, if there's no audience, there's something missing. And when you have home support, when you go out into the Melbourne cricket ground, 90,000 spectators, of whom 60,000 are Indians, you could be playing in Ranchi or Mumbai or somewhere else in India. And
Yeah,
that's
Suresh?
it's a big high.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were saying something. Okay, no, did you notice the 86,000 something people in Melbourne? How could they get so many people, Indians, into Melbourne, into that stadium? Did you wonder?
Yes, I was wondering how many Malayalis would be there also. So and they are thinking it's a great football match.
So, but Suresh, I think the Malayalis would be there if the match was in Dubai, not in Melbourne.
No, but
Malayalis
the
are
Indians,
everywhere.
Indians have crawled out from all over the world, wherever they are in the woodwork, and they've gone to Australia.
Right.
A lot of people from Singapore, from the US, from England, from
And
the
of course
Gulf,
from India as well.
And of course from
right.
India.
Okay, so let's look at the bowling. What stood out, Ayaz? Or who stood out rather? Who are the two people?
So I think the big plus point for me today was the bowling of Ravichandran Ashwin. Again, he's been under a bit of, no, I wouldn't say as much of a cloud as Shikhar Dhawan, but is he bowling the right line? Can he take stick? Will he get hit all over the park? His fielding might come in the way and stuff like that. I think from Dhoni's point of view or from India's game plan point of view, Ashwin is very, very crucial because he's got a fantastic record in ODIs. He's got the experience. And if he comes good, you also have an extra batsman. So Shami was sharp as he was in the first match. Mohit was consistent as he was in the first match. Umesh Yadav perhaps needs a couple of wickets to pump up his self-confidence.
Also maybe less runs.
But what has happened in these two matches, Dhoni's options have increased. He's got Bhuvneshwar Kumar sitting outside who he can always go back to.
Right.
Akshar Patel who he can always go back to. The Indian attack, which looked beleaguered before the World Cup started, is now looking, fantastic.
Okay, great. So we are also sort of running out of time, so we want to put everything as quickly in as possible. Heroes and zeros is coming up shortly. Suresh, anything from the bowling side you noticed?
Shami, of course, and of course Ashwin, who I thought is a great competition for me because in between he become a mimicry artist instead of being a bowler. He started imitating Sunil Narayanan on field and all that stuff. But glad to see him back, and with his height, I hope that he does even better in the coming matches now.
Okay, great. So as we move on, let's start picking up the heroes. Ayaz, do you want to start with the zeros first?
Zeros, well, I think I would actually put De Villiers as a zero today.
Okay.
Though he made 30 odd, whatever he made, I think he got a lot of things wrong, including the approach of the South Africans. They just kind of thought they would overwhelm India, which didn't happen. And he couldn't change tactics, he didn't have that bandwidth to do something different. I thought his field placings were a little odd, and I think the South African bowlers suffered because of his field placings.
Okay, you're close to what the audience pick is, but Chandresh?
I will go with because I think once
gave away too many runs.
Gave away too many runs, and once one on Philander got injured, they needed somebody to step up to back Dale Steyn. He just didn't do that, and that's where I think they lost the complete.
Pawnhill didn't get enough support from his captain.
Yeah,
kind of feel he said, and when he went and spoke to him, you saw 3 short balls in a row, which were hit all over the park. I mean,
I think for me, I think for today, I think he came close to being the zero of the day or the zero, the villain of the day.
Okay, so we'll tell you what the audience pick is. Suresh, you have a zero of the day.
Rohit Sharma for trying that really suicidal when he thought it was not AB de Villiers but it was Rajpal Yadav fielding there perhaps.
Okay. So zero of the day, audience feedback. I mean, Ayaz, of course, as you know, if you've been following the show, gets the major vote. But Quinton de Kock is the villain with 43%.
Poor chap, 21 years old.
Yeah, AB de Villiers is at 29%. So
not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
Quinton de Kock also, because the last 3 times he played India, he scored 300s.
Yeah.
So everybody was hoping
and who's the hero?
Yeah, we'll come to that. Okay. So, okay, Suresh, let's begin with
multiple
you.
choices.
Who's your hero?
My hero is for the day, Sachin Tendulkar for being on the field, on the ground. Definitely Sachin.
Okay, we'll come back to you for a close on that, Ayaz.
No, where selfies are concerned, Sachin wins hands down.
Yeah.
But I think I would give it to Shikhar Dhawan.
Okay.
I just think he played a superb knock. And
actually, I'm looking at the audience feedback. It's interesting who the second person is. Let's see if you can get that.
For me,
yeah, the second hero
is Dhoni.
Okay.
The hero for me is Shikhar Dhawan, obviously, and the second person would be Ashwin for the way he bowled.
Okay, great. So let's look at the audience feedback. The second hero is MS Dhoni. right? And the first one, of course, not surprisingly, is Shikhar Dhawan. Of course, we didn't ask about Sachin Tendulkar because at that time we didn't include it in the questions, but had we included it, maybe he would have turned up as the hero
Sachin
of the...
is god of cricket, so
God of
he is
cricket, yeah.
omniscient. Whether you choose him or not, he is always there.
There you are.
There you are.
Dark glasses and selfie. I wonder if
It was not just Sachin, even Kumble was there. So
Kumble was there because
Oh,
he
yeah.
inducted
So you had
ICC
two Indian
Hall of
greats.
Fame.
In fact, Kumble went onto the field and Sachin was there on the
So
stands.
India captains Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly
And
Kumble all at the MCG.
Right, and Kumble and Ganguly were obviously on the commentator box.
No, Kumble is there as an invitee of the ICC because he's been inducted into the fame.
Right. Okay, so what's the next match that we're looking out for?
So now India plays the next weekend,
Yeah.
which is
UAE.
against
UAE.
the West Indies, I thought,
I think it's UAE.
or whichever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think right now Indians will be secure that they are in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I think Dhoni,
The
you
driver's
might
seat.
hear from him tomorrow or
Yeah.
today that they need some rest and recreation.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's been advocating all the while. So yeah, I think
So 1 week's recreation and
I
rest
think
and
these matches now against the smaller teams, you just go there, try out your players who have not played and boost your run rate.
Right. Okay, a quick this thing. We're going to show you the moment of the day, which I think we showed you earlier, but let's show it to you again. Right. So there you are, the team.
Team India.
Team India
Or
looking
men in
ecstatic.
blue.
The men in blue looking ecstatic.
One thing
Okay.
you'll notice is that
Yeah.
the team's been pretty solid in the sense that we have had the same players in the last 2 years, and the continuity factor has been a big factor in India doing well in all ICC tournaments.
Right. Okay. So Suresh, what are you looking out for? It's India versus UAE, as Chandresh, our resident statistician, says. So
Thankfully, no Malayalis in the team, so the chance of losing
no,
against
there
UAE
is-
is very less.
Suresh, there is a Malayali from Kerala.
Chandran.
Yeah, his surname is Karate, so something for you to look forward to.
In the Dubai team, thankfully, Indian team, there are no Malayalis, so we won't be losing.
okay, right. So any last words from Sachin, Suresh, before we
Oh
close?
yes, sir. Definitely. I just want to tell that against UAE, go and enjoy, and also make sure that you get all the addresses of all the party place in Dubai. Enjoy yourself, have a great match, and try to be good with those boys. Don't defeat them very harshly. Okay? Go get it.
Okay, thank you for that, Suresh. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ayaz. Thank you,
you.
Chandresh. We're going to go off now and be back during next week for the next round of CricketOMania. Stay tuned and do send back for the heroes and zeros. Thanks for watching.